year back, that was Alice Cooper, Long Way to Go, in what I won't say it's my favorite Alice Cooper album because there's a few there in the running, but definitely one of them. Definitely one of them. That was Love It to Death. That was the name of that album, right, Chuckles?
Very good album. Not one of my favorites, but very good. Still bigger fan of From the Inside, but I did like Love It to Death.
Yeah, because I like that track. I'm 18 is on there, and I'll tell you, the Ballad of Dwight Fry, which I'm going to have to. It's a long one. That's why I haven't put it on the show recently, but that's one of my favorite Alice Cooper songs right there. The Ballad of Dwight Fry.
That is incredible. However, do not ever listen to Pretty for You, or
right, and that comes from probably the biggest Alice Cooper fan on the East Coast.
Yeah, that is horrible.
You can trust him on this.
Or Live in Toronto. That one was horrible too.
And even Easy Action. I mean, which has, it's got a couple of signs of promise for the future, but no, you really want to start off with Alice Cooper after the, what would you say? Well, Killers was in full bloom.
Killers, definitely.
Love It to Death, probably. I mean, that's where you want to start Alice Cooper, right?
That's where I think he started his big jump. And Killers is definitely one. School's Out. Can't take it away from that. That one's horrible. That one was not horrible. It was great. But his first couple albums, I heard a rumor he did it on purpose to make the stuff horrible. Working with Frank Zappa. I mean, they had a thing to chase people out of the crowd. Like, who had the worst stage performance that could scare people out of there the quickest?
That's interesting, but I don't think that's a joke they would have let go for 2 albums.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, I think what happened is that it was, not having been there and being separated from it by decades, I think what might have happened is it was just 2 creative people that clashed.
No, what happened? Like, because even if you go into his earlier stuff, Alice Cooper, or Vincent Fournier, if you would say, when he started in high school, he had a band project called the Earwigs.
Right.
And that was very Beatles-ish. It was very similar to Beatles. It had a couple of songs that were similar to Elvis. And then the Pretty for You's comes out, and it's like, the man's talented. Why did you put out that?
Well, like I said, I think it might have been the influence, of another very talented guy, Frank Zappa. I mean, he's put out a lot of great stuff, but I think it was just a combination of, like, the 2 of them had something in mind, kind of like when Andy Warhol produced Lou Reed.
Yeah.
And tried to turn Lou Reed into a, David Bowie type of, what I'm saying? Sometimes you get 2 creative forces, 2 creative people, and they just don't match up. They just don't.
I think it had a lot to do with the creativity of alcohol that was introduced into his life that was helping him with that one.
Well, the other thing that was introduced into his life was, now you might know this better than me. What was his backing band in those horrible studio efforts, those first 2 albums?
It was the
Was it the same crew that worked with him on Love It to Death?
Yeah, right up to, I think, about School's Out, and then they took off because they were getting tired of Alice, shadowing them. Just like Spinosaurus now shadows T-Rex, and I don't agree with that.
Right. No, but I think, if I remember the Alice Cooper Band also, the Alice Cooper Band was a case kind of like, almost, and I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but it was kind of like the band The Monkees or the Ramones, a band that could hardly play their instruments. Like, they literally couldn't. Alice Cooper had some kind of a voice right from the beginning. The rest of his band could barely play their instruments. But they got determined.
Right.
And I'm saying, and in other words, like, to their credit, they got really good really fast.
But I can even prove it. They're still horrible. I mean, they have a mixture with this group called, from one of your favorites, Blue Oyster Cult. Uh-huh. They have a group called Blue Coupe.
And I don't want to hear it. I've managed to avoid hearing that, and I don't want to because I can just imagine.
One of our friends
go ahead.
Introduced this. Lisa Gorley, you're out there. You're listening. She said, you have to book these guys on your show. First of all,
Blue Coupe.
Yeah, Blue Coupe. First of all, they were $5,000. Second of all, they were horrible. You would have to pay me $5,000 to play on my show. No, never.
Because now from the original Alice Cooper Band, it was. All right, I just blanked on it.
I can't remember. I got to be out there. You guys are going to shoot me. I don't remember all the rest of the lineup because truly, Alice Cooper does shadow them out. It's just like when Marilyn Manson's upstage. Do you know any of the other guys up there?
Right, and I know Blue Oyster Cult. Whenever Blue Oyster Cult is not playing together as the original lineup, they seem to break into 2 factions. There's a really good faction, Buck Dharma, the guitarist, and then there's the other faction of the Buchard brothers, who basically can't do anything on their own except suck. And they always seem to, they borrow the Blue Oyster Cult name. Blue Oyster Cult Presents is usually how they pronounce it, how they promote it. And then you get stuff like Blue Coupe.
It's bad. Listeners, if you're out there, you want to listen to it, that's fine. But I'm telling you.
We're not telling you don't, but we're telling you don't.
It is America. We have the right to say something sucks. So if you don't like it, tough.
All right, let's listen to something that doesn't suck to get the bad taste of Blue Coupe out of our thoughts here. Let's go with, how about Angel Corpse doing a cover of Iron Maiden? Doesn't get better than that. Let's listen to some Genghis Khan here on the Haunted Cabaret on Rhode Island Free Radio. All right, that was Genghis Khan, Iron Maiden, courtesy of Angel Corpse. And one of the few times that I like the cover better than the original. It just seems to have a little bit more of whatever it is that makes that piece of music just set your teeth on edge in a good way. Speaking of setting teeth on edge, our teeth have been set on edge by this whole T-Rex Spinosaurus controversy we mentioned earlier. I think we've ranted enough about that, but that brings us to another logical subject, seeing as how the two of us are who we are, which is the treatment of dinosaurs not only by National Geographic, but in the world of film, in the world of comics. The comics I can pretty much, as far as dinosaurs being the main subject, the one that comes to my mind looking at the whole history of comics was a publication called Turok, Son of Stone.
Good
from
book.
Gold Key Comics. That was a genuinely good story for a long time. I mean, I'm not sure how many issues that ran in its original form, but it was a while.
Yeah, and I think they're rebooting it again.
Yeah,
So I think there's
yeah.
new
I've read one of those reboots, and I'm not happy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really not. Like, you know, I don't know. I won't say any more about it. I mean, you know, check it out yourself. But it's one of those examples of tampering with something that doesn't need to be tampered with because it was, you know, it was fine as it was.
You don't remember Dinosaurs and Cadillacs before it became a cartoon? There was actually a comic book for that as well. You never read that one?
No, I never did.
Oh, that's a classic 80s one, Dinosaurs and Cadillacs. Just as classic as the Ninja Turtles. I enjoyed reading that series. But watching it on television, it didn't last long for a reason.
Right. Now, there were a few other Marvel ones. I think it was Kazar. Although that wasn't dinosaurs. That was like back in cavemen days with the saber-tooths and the woolly mammoths, wasn't it?
Yeah, but still, somehow, some way, there was always a dinosaur that ended up inside there. You had to put it in there. The little guys would... Because even the movie Caveman...
Right.
Remember that? Caveman.
Right. There's just something... Well, it's true, though. There is something about wanting to see human beings and dinosaurs going at it, living together, you know...
Well,
going at it in a violent, warlike way, by the way.
I'm going to piss you off because that's what I like to do. If you go to a place, there's a town in Wisconsin that has what they call a religiously correct museum.
Uh-huh.
They have a triceratops chilling on the side of a human skeleton, putting down that we existed at the same time. And they are pumping this into kids that are going through school.
Well, what I would like to do is pump these Christians full of, I don't know, what's the most lethal, agonizing poison that has ever been... Chuckles, you might know this.
Sitting down and watching, what the heck's that singer there?
If you want somebody to die horribly, how do you do it?
Oh, there's a lot of ways to do it.
Okay, well, actually, kind of, you know what? As far as these born-again Christians, revisionist Christians, anti-science Christians, do you ever see the original movie? Now, Spartacus has had a couple of reboots, too, but did you ever see the original movie Spartacus when the movie ends with the Roman Empire having defeated Spartacus's army? Mm-hmm. They crucify the entire population of Spartacus's army along the road.
Yep.
And there's just crucified people as far as the eye can see. I would love to get every born-again evangelical, anything calling itself one of these brain-dead Christians, and crucify them upside down. Maybe start in the Port of Providence, here in Lovecraft's Providence, which would be appropriate. Maybe start on Benefit Street in Providence, and crucify these worthless pieces of trash. You know, may Satan smite them all, from Providence all the way to California. And the scary thing is, I think there would be enough of them. I think there would be enough of them.
I don't want to pollute the waters with the blood of them at all.
I didn't say we're going to pollute the waters. Like, this is on land. We're going to start in Providence on the East Coast and crucify them all the way to California on the West Coast.
Yeah, but George, eventually their blood would leak into the river systems.
No. You're forgetting our carrion birds and our predators and our scavengers.
Why don't we just light them on fire? Then there's no blood issues at all.
But then they die too quick.
No. You just set the fire underneath them, so it kind of like boils their skin off.
Cooks them.
Yeah.
But if you cook something, shouldn't something eat it?
Sure, I'm going to get hungry later on. Might as well.
Even you are not going to be able to eat several million Christians.
I'm going to start a new chicken business out there called Cannibalistic Christian Chicken. You'll never know. I'll put up there, the cast will be, it tastes like chicken.
Christian chips.
There you go. We'll do it.
Christian crunch.
You know, it's I'm going to make you even madder.